That's again. Oh, good. Okay. Sorry about all the dings and dongs and everything. So we're going to make some gnomes. So I know everybody likes gnomes for, doesn't matter what time of year it is, but I always associate gnomes for Christmas and that type of thing. So I thought I would start by doing some fall ones. And there's so many ways to do them, and they're so simple and they're fun to do. Just let me check to see if Lena got on. There you are. What a schmozzle. Okay, so I thought I would put mine on my papers here that I did a couple days ago. These are the jelly prints. They're kind of fall looking, so I thought, well, I'm going to start using these. So since it's going to be a fall one, I think probably one of these would do. I kind of like that one. That's kind of cool too. Maybe this reminds me of leaves and stuff like that. And my gnomes are going to be small. So let's do this one. So gnomes, as you know, very simple. Consist of, again, you got to think about shapes. So there's the hat. So there's your head, basically. Can you guys see this okay, or is it too bright? Yeah, I think it's too bright. Oh, let me darken it. A little better? Yeah. Okay, so we have I got a bunch of scrap paper. Oh, awesome. And they're just basically like a big nose. So usually it's kind of more of an oval shape. Big nose, and then you don't have to worry about the eyes or the mouth really, or ears. And then your hat usually sits on the top of his nose, like that. And you can have the hat all kinds of different shapes. You could have it falling to the one side. You could have them straight up if you want. Take a look on the internet if you want to have an idea of shapes. And then, of course, the beard and the mustache. So now some people have it down even further. So it's like this. So you can have the mustache as a mustache. Some people don't even put a mustache in. Sometimes it's just the beard. So the mustache kind of goes into the beard. And then you have some have a pointed beard, and it's usually really fuzzy. Okay, that's your standard type of gnome. And then you either have a really short little body just behind here, or you have so much beard that you can't see it. I'm gonna bring it down even more. Oh, they are changing time tonight. Good to know. Thanks, Dot. Oh, really? Tonight? I thought that, well, ours don't change till November, the first week in November. So next weekend it's for us. That's if they have changed that. I don't know. I haven't really paid much attention. Um, and then you usually have big feet sticking out of his body here. It's very simple. I'm going to bring you guys in a little bit so you can see more what I'm doing. Okay. So that's your basics, the very basics. So really, you could start off with 2 circles like a snowman and then add everything on top of it. They're very simple. Now, you don't have to stick to this. This is just the bones of it, basically. If you want to, you can change this up to all kinds of shapes, all kinds of hats, beards. It's unbelievable how many things you can add to this. And that's why I think they're so awesome, because they're so easy to do and change. So you can have ideas of hats would be straight up or wiggly and straight up. You could even have, say, a straw hat put on them. I've seen a lot of people where they make the hat into something. So like a ice cream cone shape, or they've got strawberries or watermelon on it, or they've made the beard out of leaves, that type of thing. Funny. Yeah. Melina. So what I want you to do is get your imagination going. Also, if you want to make your beard shorter, you could actually add clothes to this, and it could be something very simple. Maybe he's wearing a vest and you only see the bottom part of the vest with a pocket on each side. Maybe he's wearing elf shoes. Just really write down, and it's good to start writing. So you've got an elf, or your gnome, gnome here, and from the hat, start writing things. What else could you do with this hat? So this could be a straw hat. What could it have on it? What could it be made out of? So straw hat could be made out of let's see, jeans. Could be made out of wool. Maybe it's burlap. Also, you can also put the beard. What's the beard? Color wise, you could make a color wise. You could make, this could be leaves. He could have arms also. You could make arms by just curving it around like this. It doesn't have to be really complicated. and then just put mitts on him. So his thumb would be up here, and then maybe he's holding his hands together like that. He could be holding something. Maybe he's holding an acorn. Maybe he's holding a coffee, or yeah, a beehive would be another thing that his hat could be. Oh, here's one I have like a license for. He's Santa's Christmas tree. I thought this was so cute. So think outside the box. And there's his little shoes, so he's sitting down. And he's got little cuffs on his. So you don't even have to draw arms for Pete's sake. So it's so simple. So what I thought I'm going to try and do is make a fall one. So we're going to paint basically the now you could cut out paper too, and make your hat out of that, different types of paper. I'm going to paint just a round circle for his face, and then we're going to paint in or use scrapbook paper to make the rest of them. So what do you think? Is there anything you guys want to do with this one? And I would suggest getting your scrapbook out or your sketchbook and try a bunch of them and just draw them up. They're so fun. That's my good one. I'm looking for a simple brush here. And then you can change them up for each season, even by the month, by adding something to his hat or his hand, or changing the cuffs on his clothes, or even putting maybe he's holding something, or his boots are different. So let's do some. Oh, I know. I got some new paint that I want to try. And it was a skin color, so I thought, now if I can get it open. Oh, there we go. So I thought this one might be interesting to give it a try. Not liking that brush. This is really inexpensive paint that I bought when I got my gouache. So I thought I would try it just to see what quality it turned out to be. So I'm going to take a pencil, and I think I'm going to put his face right in here. So I'm just going to use the round circle, basically. And we'll use the paint off of this. It seems to be nice and opaque. That's good. Goes on really nice. Nice. And you could put also, like, if you're thinking about Halloween, maybe he's got a pumpkin head. Maybe he's got a witch hat, or maybe his hat's a ghost. The little eyeballs in it. There's so many ways you can play with this. Put just a little bit on my palette here. Just use up. And then we'll dry that. So you guys getting ready for the season of Christmas and all that? Dries fairly matte too. That's good. So I just wanted to give you some ideas, and you could make these for anything. Journal pages. You could make them for stickers. That'd be cute. They could be cards, gift tags. I want to make Christmas daily this year with scrapbook paper. Oh, that's a good idea. Definitely. All right. How's the weather where you are, Dot? Beautiful day here. All right, so there's basically my head. Okay, now with this, you can also put just a shape, like a triangle almost without the point. If you wanted to make it just like a girl, you could do that too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bunch of leaves on his beard. So I know that his nose is going to, I'm going to put his nose, let's see, his mouth will be about there. I'm going to put his nose right in here, a big nose. And all I'm going to do is add a little bit of white to my mix here. And then I can add a little bit of white to the paint, that white paint. Day-filled Halloween candy bags. Yes, we're getting ready for that too. I don't think there'll be many kids here. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. We don't get a lot anyways, but poor little kids, you know, they've missed out so much on Halloween and with all the rigmarole going on. Nobody can go out and do what they used to be able to do. I'm going to get a little bit of, let's see, brown, if I have it in there. Oh, I did. Yeah, here's some brown. Smidgen of brown for making some shadows. So I'm just going to mix a little of this brown with that mix. just to make it a little bit darker than what I got. And then he would have a clean brush. You would have brown. So I'm just going to dip the one side of my brush in the brown. And he would have brown on the bottom. And I'll just swipe it with one side of my, it could be a little darker than that. A little bit more. I don't know, is that, I think that top light is glaring at you from the paint. How's that? It's hard to regulate. I only have a short amount of time to get this on. You can't play with it too much because then it tends to lift. Okay, now it looks too dark. Is that better? All right, and then just a little bit more white again with that. I want a little lighter. And just at the top of his nose, we'll lighten that. And then I'm just going to take a damp brush and kind of blend in that center a little bit. Just play with it. Okay. Now I'm going to put a little bit, I'm thinking, will we see his cheeks? Well, I'm going to just lighten that area right here, just in case we do see the cheeks. That way we can put a little bit of pink on there later. All right. Now, you could use your scrapbook paper, or you could use your gel prints, or paper napkins, all kinds of stuff. Even fabric if you wanted to. I got some paper, scrapbook paper out here that we could play with. I don't know about you guys, but I have a ton. Now this would be cute. So I kind of want to keep it all in the same family as far as colors for his hat. So I kind of like this one because it's kind of fall looking. So we have the dark, we have the light, we have this one here. This is kind of pretty. I like this one too. It's got texture on it too. And it matches these. I could just do that. That would be cute. I kind of like 3 though. Maybe we'll just do those 3. So we have those 3, or I also have pink, but I think that's I'm associating this one as a guy. We have the polka dots, pink. That one there, it's got pink in it again. Polka dots are cute. I love polka dots. Pinks. Or we could go black and white too. I like to go a small, medium, and there's stripes right there that you could use the stripe. You could just play with just those stripes. That might be an idea. There you go. I like that. So if you got stripes in your craft paper, there's a great way of layering. Not cutting up a bunch of your paper. They also have black and white papers. These are cute too. Some of them have a little bit of color on them. That would be also a neat way of making a hat. So what you can do is decide what style hat you want. So just take a piece of paper and decide, actually, tracing paper would be ideal. Even deli wrap, and put it over top. And you know that it's going to come over his nose, so you can just draw on there. Like that. Now better get a pen or something that's going to show. A pencil maybe. Yeah, there we go. So there's my and then bring it out past, because it's got texture on it. And I think mine's going to have a lot of lumps and bumps. I think that's what it's going to look like. And then you can take a pair of scissors. Tape it to a regular piece of paper, just so that it's a little easier. It's kind of hard cutting out this stuff. It's too flimsy, so I like to tape mine. That way it's a little easier for cutting. Then you just cut out your pattern. I wonder when these drawings of gnomes came out, because when I had my stained glass store, I don't ever remember seeing any patterns for them. So it must have been after 2000 and, when did I close that store? 2010, I think it was. And just cut it out. And this will be your pattern. Just make sure it's there. Put this aside. Now you could paint these too, but I thought it would be kind of fun just using some of our stash of papers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw how I want my lumps. Maybe it's going to be like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what we do is take the paper and number your pieces. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you don't mix them up. Because normally this one isn't bad because there's not many pieces, but when you start getting into a whole lot of different pieces, you really should have this plus another duplicate of this. So when you cut this one up, you can place it down on the pattern. That's how we would do our stained glass. So we need a pattern or a map to what we're cutting. And then you can just cut your pieces. Don't recut anything though, because then it won't fit. Okay, and then we can play with these. So we can either, this kind of reminds me of a, it's not quite big enough, but we could do this. So that's on the top part. That kind of looks cool too. That kind of almost looks like, I'm getting fussy here. I shouldn't. I can get really fussy, and that's just from being a stained glass artist for so many years. You tend to really get a little bit overboard as far as how things should be. I think I might have to, how am I going to do this? Maybe if I put it like that, or I could make it even in. Okay. Cass, it's not a stained glass window, for Pete's sakes. Stop going nuts about it. This one we could do. Like that, maybe? Like that. Let's see. We might end up cutting more than one. I get too detailed. I used to spend hours and hours picking glass when I would be doing stuff like this to get the right wave or the white streak in a certain area. It's like crazy. Okay, I'm going to use that one. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on to stick it on there. Just a smidgen, just so that it sticks. Number 2. Let's see that, like that. And then I think I want this one up there. Or right there. Yeah. This one, part of the top of the hat. And let's see. That. And then I think I'll do that. And this one, maybe like that. And let's see what we get. I do have all kinds of patterns from my windows that I did. It might be fun to use the scrapbook paper and do some faux stained glass windows with them out of our paper and gel prints. What do you think? Would you enjoy something like that, or would it drive you crazy? Because I know a lot of people, when they're doing stuff, they don't want to, they want it done quickly. I find that's why a lot of people aren't really into the paper piecing, like the apple I did. It was fun, but they never did one again. I like doing it because it reminded me of stained glass. But I think I wanted, well, maybe I'll do that, like that. Getting picky. Think so? I would love to do that. But I might put a poll out and see what people think. So I don't want to set it all up and then nobody wants to do it. But it would be very similar, except you're not doing the soldering or the cutting and grinding of glass, but you're just cutting the pattern out and placing them together. I think that would be fun. And I would just get the beginner patterns out. I've got a bunch of them. I wouldn't I wouldn't get out a big pattern and have you go insane. So I remember doing some, well, Bird Studies Canada when I had that commission. Oh my God. Thousands of pieces that I had to cut. Thousands of pattern pieces for each window because it was so detailed. one of my windows is in the office of Johnson and Johnson. That was one of their donors. All right, so now I'll show you what it looks like. So there will be our one piece. That's number 2. The apple was fun because we first made our own paper. That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that. We did make our own paper. There's the three. So I didn't use the green except for the one part here. Like that. And then we can shade in areas of this too. Or if you find you want maybe I could change up some of this for another color. It's not bad. And we can color some of this in shading wise. Okay. So before we put that on, I want to do the beard. So the beard, I think we'll just do the typical beard, and we'll use some black and white. So I got some black here. And let's see. So I'm going to make it gray. So I'm just going to take some black with this white here, make it gray. And it doesn't matter if it's completely mixed or not. Sometimes it's better if it isn't. And the mustache can come out like from here. And you can just swipe it. And he's probably got all kinds of fuzz and everything else in there. So you can just put a base coat on. I'm just going to make it like that. Kind of fuzzy. And then I'm going to just do the beard the same way. So you can have a little mouth if you want. I'm not gonna. I'm just going to put in this beard. This is just the base coat. We're going to put more on. So don't worry if you're going over top of your mustache at all. And just base coat in that beard. Decide how long you want it. Maybe it's shorter. You don't have to have them real long. Okay, like that. Get a fair amount on there. You don't want to see through it. Okay, like that. And then I'm gonna use a little more white and put in that mustache again. And I'm just gonna swipe down first. A little bit more. So just swiping down. Oh, I should dry it first. It's picking it up. Yeah. Let me dry it first. So you could do these also individually, like not on a paper if you wanted to turn them into stickers and that type of thing. They'd be really cute. There's so many ways of going about making these. And they're so simple to do. So I hope you guys give them a try. All right. A little bit of water in my brush. And then I'm just swiping kind of in an arc. Depends how what kind of mustache you want them to have. Handlebar. It's endless how much attitude you can give these guys. And then I'm gonna just a little bit more in his beard. I think not all everywhere though. Maybe on the bottom I'll work my way up. And kind of doing a curve to the stroke. Just like that. Don't cover all your gray part up though. You want it to show through a bit. On the ends. Got some flyaways. I want a little bit brighter right on the very tip here. Just to give it a little bit like and then right there. Okay. Then his right under his mustache would, you can add a little bit of dark there if you want, right in here. Kind of shadow it a little bit here and there. You just go back and forth too. Okay, we'll let that dry. Okay, so now let's put on his hat. Nope, that's not it. Where did I put my... Oh, there it is. That's some gel medium. Get another. And my grungy brush. Now, if you want, you could actually take some ink and do around the edges of your just see if I have a gray or something. Here's a coffee color will do. Put this way. And I have one of these brushes. Okay, so there's his hat. It's gonna go like this. Oh, it goes like that. So actually, I could cut it around his mustache. So I'm thinking of the shadows. How's the shadows going to be applied? So around the edges, of course. This is archival, so I don't have to worry about it moving. So it'll be like that, and then across the top, because it's got bumps and rolls. So we'd have shadows and highlights on it. So when his hat's like that, I can actually cut that one like that. So the mustache fits around it like that. This one, oh, this one. So that does the same thing. I might end up curving that. We'll see. Things are, this is just like a practice run. So whatever I'm doing, it's just experimenting, some ideas. And that's how you find out stuff. And I love experimenting with stuff. It's fun. It's relaxing. So then that's hat goes like that. I think I might see his face is gonna be. I think I'm gonna put. Would that work? Nope. I can take that off there. And this off here, I think. We'll see. If not, I'll have to paint over it. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Then that one goes on there. Now you could stick this on too and put a glaze over as the shadows if you wanted to. This is easier though. Why not? I'm always looking for ways of doing stuff that's going to make life easier. Okay, like that. And then this one. Like that. So this one, it's going to be highlighted on the top, so I don't need to put any of the shading around the top part. So I'm thinking about the shadows and how they're working on this hat. Okay, and then that one goes like that. Okay, so now I can put those on. So let's put this guy on. That. Do you like mixing things up, like mixed media, paper and Or are you strictly a paint everything person? I love mixed media. I've always liked it. I can even remember when I was little doing stuff. Taking bottles and old Coke bottles and making clothes for them and making my own figures out of the pop bottles, painting the faces on and stuff like that. Okay, now we'll try that. You're right, we need to include our scraps. I don't realize that I had so much. Yeah. I love that it makes you dig in your stash and find stuff that you forgot. I know, exactly. And, how often do you do that? Not too often. That's why I really love mixed media, because you can use anything and everything. There's no limit to what you can put on a page. And that's what I love about it. You get some really neat effects too. All right. So I think I will add a little bit more to his mustache now that that's on. Just to show that it's going over his hat. Doesn't take much. You can put now that it's dry, a little bit of stronger white ones if you want. Add a little bit of gray in there. Thanks, Dot. It's fun. All right. So we can, he has a little bit of his body there, but we wouldn't necessarily have to put that in. So what I think I'm going to do is put big boots on him. So I'm going to mix a little of this brown with black to make it really, really dark. And he's going to have some big boots. Let's see. How am I going to do this? Let me see. I'll erase this first. Marks I had on there for the dress. That's another thing you can do is female. So give her ribbons in her hair, make her ponytail, pigtails, braids. Make sure he's got the same type of width to the boot. Don't want him having a limp. So a little bit higher. Like that. I'll have to dry it first. All right. Just adding some brown there. Some black. I want it fairly dark. But with a female grown, you don't have the beard. That's true. Yeah. I can't think of how they did them. You could just have a scarf on them or something. You're right. Unless they do have beards. Maybe they do. Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to make a little bit. I'm going to highlight these boots and make some. Maybe I should make a sole on them. Right there. And then just on the very top, we'll add some highlight. Like that. And let that dry. Now we could put little cuffs on and have them holding something, or one arm could be holding a stick, the other arm could be holding a leaf or something, or an acorn, or a cup of coffee. What do you think he should be holding? Because we could put a little piece of material for his coat to match. It's got to match. So his arm could be right there. Or it could go like that. So that it's or a giant flower. Let's see, or just a puff. What should I do? I'd have to put it behind him, I think. Think. Let's see. It doesn't have to be very big, but I would have to. Or just a mitt. Maybe a mitt. Oh dear. Let's see if I got a piece that I want to cut out. Another piece here. Okay, we'll make some mitts. His thumb would be holding it. That was silly. All right. Well, I can only do one that way. Like that. probably be quicker just to paint it on. Oh, it's fun. It's fun just to use up your stuff and use your imagination. That's what I like, is just to use your imagination. Like that. And then he can be holding something. And then I can put could have it in towards his. No, that doesn't look right. I think it has to be up here. What do you think? I'm putting it on. I think it's cute. And we can always paint over his whiskers. Okay, we'll let that dry. Got to put something down here to shade him in a little bit because he's kind of standing on nothing. So just take some of that brown or black and water it down. And then you can just use that for a bit of shadow in his. Make it even darker underneath. Under here. Not too dark that his shoes disappear though. But just a bit. We could put some other stuff on there if we want, but it just grounds them a little bit. Isn't he cute? I think he's cute. Okay, I'm going to just throw this over his mitt. There. It's got some major whiskers going on there. I like it. There. Okay, I'm gonna let's dry that, and then I'm gonna put something in his hand. I know, it's the season for raking. Let's put a rake in his hand. So, let's see, we'll put one right in here. So, could actually use Posca. But this could be a stick rake. So maybe it's got lumps and bumps in it because it's actually a piece of twig. They made their own rake. So we'll add a little bit of white to my brown here. And bring it up like that. And then, or it's a broom, whatever they have. I'm going to put some black in there too. Like that. And then I'll let that dry. And then I'm going to stick some leaves in there too. Let's get some color for the leaves. So, some oranges and yellows. Use up this orange. Oh, there it is. Starting to go bad. And so yellow, little yellow and a little orange on my brush. Just a few leaves here and there. Maybe one of this. Maybe a few are stuck in there. This little broom. When they're on the ground, they're more or less horizontal. You can put a few on a bit of a slant, but don't put them straight up because then they look a little funny. see. And I think I'm going to put maybe one in here. Let's see. Ouch. My fingers are sore today. I don't think this is going to show up. I think it needs to be white first. Could be flour. And maybe one here. I'm just putting whatever on my brush. A little yellow, a little. Oh, still going. Could put green in there too. Okay. I'll tie on the. Actually, I could use a Posca pen for that. Where did I put those? I move stuff around now. I can't find it. Oh, God. Where did I put those? Oh, they're there. Black. Or brown. We could put some leaves in his beard too. Oh man, my fingers are sore. God. There. It's not coming out. Let's see if this black one works better. Yeah. Like that. And let's get a little, yeah, this should work. A round brush and put a couple leaves in his beard. Now I'm going to add white to it because typically when you get into orange or yellows, they're very transparent. Let's put Mm, a few Klingons leaves. Getting in his you need a hot cup of coffee to warm up your yeah. Well, not coffee. I won't sleep tonight. Then just a smidgen more highlight, or we could use a white colored pencil. Finish it off. So just at the top, just lighten that area on the top of his nose. And then also with the same white colored pencil, just on the very center, just lightly, rotating on the side of your pencil, just rotate a little bit of that on there and it'll give it a bit of a highlight. You can do that with this one, and you can put some on the top here. There's a little, see where the bump is? Right there. And just along the top edge of this top part of the hat. Like that. And maybe the top part of his mitt and his thumb. A little bit of a highlight there. And what other color? Brown, maybe? I think I'm going to add a little bit more color to the hat. This is a brown, just to give this a little bit more. Showing that there's a definite fold in there. Under here. Maybe it'll be a little darker. Depending on the pattern on your paper too, and the color of your paper will make a difference also. So you might have to use a different colored pencil. Just gives it a little bit more depth. Around his nose. Uh, Now you could actually make ribs on the hat if you wanted to. There's tons of different things. It depends how much detail you want to put into these. I'm going to put a little bit more under his nose. I think his nose needs to be just underneath the bottom of his nose. Needs to be darker. Just to show his nose is sticking out. Like that. To hug a warm mug and not stick fingers in. Yeah. Well, we could have a little tassel hanging down on here with a leaf hanging off of it. What do you think? A little pom-pom? What should we have hanging off of his tassel? Give me some ideas. Hmm. Um, what could it be? A spider or an acorn, a leaf? Can you think of anything? I don't know, but a red mushroom would be sweet next to his feet. Oh yeah, we could do that. Sure. Let's see. They have white stems or gray stems, don't they? I don't have a picture in front of me. Could have a grouping of them. Okay, I'm gonna see. Do it in white first. Acorn would be cute, yeah. Okay, we'll put an acorn. So acorn brown. Okay, let's draw it first, Kathy. So we have the top part. And I think the bottom is smaller and it's got a point on it. Like that. So I think the top is darker than the bottom part, if I remember correctly. My smaller brush. A little bit of shading on the bottom there. A little bit darker around. And I think they have like little, it's rough on the top, if I remember correctly. I don't have a reference. Okay, let's dry these. Then red. They're a nice rich red, aren't they? Like almost a real dark red. So I could, this should be good. That needs a little bit black in it, I think. A little too bright. Oh, that's more. Let's put some orange in there. A little bit on, there we go. A little bit on the pinky side. a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more. Darker. I don't know if they have the little skirt on them or not, but I'm putting it in. It's a brand new species. And I'm going to put a little bit. That orange on the lighter side, just to lighten that up a little bit. Get a little bit of a glow there. Dry it. And then they have little those little white things on them. There's no pattern to those, I noticed. They're just kind of some of them are, and I think they're a little raised, some of them, so we could actually have some that stick above. Like that. Oh, a few more speckles. And then sharpen my pencil. I'm just gonna go under his nose a little bit more. I don't think that's quite dark enough. He's got a big schnoz. There, I think that's better. And right under the hat here, on his skin, should be darker too. That would have a shadow in there. So you could actually cover most of that skin area with this, make it darker. And just a little bit more there. Like that. And then I'm gonna shadow beside these spots. Yep, I know I'm getting a little bit crazy here with detail, but if you know me at all, that's what I love. Love detail. I could spend hours and hours putting detail in. It's my favorite part. And it'd be a little bit darker under the hair. And I'm gonna put just shadow a little bit under that skirt and down one side. I'm getting all stuffed up too, losing my voice. There. Now I'm going to put a little bit of green or yellow, probably yellow maybe, I got it out here, and just put some dead grass in. Just by those, I can even dirty it up a little bit. Oh, yes. Oh no, that's not green. Could put some here and there too. Just to add some interest. Usually grass grows in little patches, especially weedy areas. And just make some different hues, not all the same. I made my gnome with gouache on top of my acrylic eco, and it worked like awesome. You'll have to show me it. All right, I think he's done. There's my full gnome. I think he turned out cute. I love him. He looks really good on this paper. I love him. Now you could put more. I might put more leaves in there, or I could actually, to show that they're stuck in his hair, you can just go over top of them a little bit. You could also do some flyaway hairs on his beard too. Thanks. I really like him. I think he's cute. And it was fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give it a try. Are you going to try it out, Dot? You know, these would be really cute done with fabric and sewn on to something. He is wonderful, a real fall grown. Yeah, he is. I didn't see any eyes though. Is he blind? The hat's covering his eyes. They go by sense. They don't need to see. You're funny. I have seen a few gnomes where they have the hat peeking up a little bit over an eye, and it's cute. You could do that. All right, so I'll let you guys go, and tomorrow I'm going to be doing Dot. If you're around, it'll be the same time at 6 o'clock for Blooming Artist, and we'll be doing a art journal page if you're interested. And I'll leave a link in the community center or on Patreon. But I think you're in the Blooming Artist, but you're not on the Patreon. So do you go into the community tab at all? Because that's where you will see the link to the video. You're welcome, Dot. All right. Well, I'll let you guys go, and you have a fantastic evening and great weekend, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye for now.